Hey Sagar, how's it going?
I'm good, man. What's going on with you?
Enjoying the Cambium life. I hear that you were coming up with some new solutions with some of the Cambium gear.
Yeah, so I thought we might as well put like a quick tutorial kind of thing, like how would you tackle, this week we're going to cover ferry Wi-Fi. So let's say you're on have you been on a ferry?
I've been to a couple ferries, one in Jamaica, right outside of Kingston and Montego Bay, and then the other one out here in the east coast of the US. But yeah, I guess you are right. When I was on that ferry, we had Wi-Fi for X amount of time, but then more than half of our trip out in the water, we didn't have any access to internet. So it was a little frustrating when you couldn't, stream live or do different activities on social media because you didn't have any coverage at all. So
Right.
that was my experience, at least with mine.
Yeah, same here. Actually, my wife and I took a trip to Northeast middle of last year during the summer. And we went to this island called Block Island, which is off of Rhode Island. It's about 20 miles, give or take, away from the main shore. It takes about 45 minutes, give or take. So we boarded from the port, which we marked in star, and then the green lines.
So you're saying you took the wife on a date?
Yeah, that was a
Nice.
date. And then once we stepped onto the boat, we had our cell tower connectivity, and then first 10 minutes or 15 minutes there was some sort of connectivity, and then there was nothing because we were basically in the middle of the ocean. And as we get closer to the next 25-30 minutes, there was no Wi-Fi at all. And funny thing, a lot of my app which required data to kind of run through, I couldn't use it because there's no, I was forced to do sightseeing. And as I got closer to the island again, I got back some connectivity. But I thought like, hey, why don't we have Wi-Fi on boats, right? We should
Especially
have
if
it.
you have the equipment to do it.
Yeah, it's a nice application. I don't mind paying extra for Wi-Fi as a consumer. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people might agree as well.
Yeah, I would
And
agree.
it keeps you and makes you stand out from your competitors also, right? So here we have like a small demo of or like a setup or how you would do a land to a ship kind of simulation. So port A, you have the master or like the main tower, the master tower that transmits out in the water in the direction of the island. And you can have multiple boats. In this, we have just shown two. But on each of the boats, you have the receiver or the slave radio that receives it and transmits back to the master. So your port A is your main point of entry. So people on the boat can use that Wi-Fi and then talk back to they can be connected through internet.
Right.
And that's it's pretty simple. It's not rocket science. It's been there it's been there for like a few years now, and I think a lot of people are getting around to getting Wi-Fi on
Right.
boats.
Yeah, well, like what I mentioned that they updated Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
The survival is like food, shelter, Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, that makes sense. What other things do you wish if you had? What other things would you do if you had Wi-Fi on ferries as a consumer?
I mean, I know for a lot of people nowadays, they don't necessarily just consume internet or like broadband, but most people are now content creators. That's why you see like a lot of YouTubers, podcasts. So now more than ever, like people want to have Wi-Fi at all times because they are also producing, not just consuming. So it pretty
Right.
much just like doubles everything at this point.
Also, another key factor which I think is people are moving to more instant gratification. So they can take the picture and upload it a few hours later, but then most people, including me, want to post it right away and get the gratification right away. So if I'm not able to do it, I'm a little upset that
Right.
you're paying so much for a ferry and it's a beautiful scenery and I want to share it with everyone.
Exactly. You want to bring everyone that is on whether it's your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook Live, you want to share that moment with whoever is on your social platform.
Yeah, so like a sample equipment that you would need to test this out and kind of deploy in the field. On the port side or on the main shore, you would need a PTP670, which is a radio. You probably need a sector antenna to cover like a wide enough range. It depends on what kind of sea route you're going to take, but like a 690 or 120 degrees should be enough. It also depends on what distance you want to aim for how far is the islands or the boats. On the ship side, you probably need two PTP 670s facing one front and one back. The back is because when you come back, the ship is flipped around, so you need so you want the radio to face one direction, so you probably need two radios. You'd also want to have a CN Pilot, which is our Wi-Fi products. You can also use an outdoor Wi-Fi product to provide connectivity on the deck or to some of these customers on the board, and maybe some sector antennas on these ships.